The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Hey everybody, this is The Ashholes. Each week, they smoke a different cigar, sometimes the same cigar, but mostly different, and they give their honest impression. They always assign an official Ashholes rating to that cigar. So, pull up a chair, light up, relax, be an Ashhole too. It's very rewarding.
Broadcasting live from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. This is the Ashholes Podcast. We're going to amend that and call it the Ashholes Podcast for today. Another takeover once a month brought to you by the Ashholes here with me today. Thanks for having us back, everybody. We're happy to be here. Today we've got a lot on the docket, and the biggest topic we are discussing is the people who got us into cigars. It's kind of our theme for the show today. With me, I have the lovely Agnes. Hello.
Hello. Good to see you girls.
Good to see
Good
you.
to see you
Ruby
too.
Cannoli.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Love doing this with you ladies. This has been such a great time, and I think the feedback we've been getting is pretty positive. So we always appreciate the core Ashholes cast for letting us take over once a month. But in the meantime, we're just going to have a great time up here.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. We've got a lot of things going on today, like I said. But first, the reason why we're all here, let's chat about our cigar of the day. Agnes, what are we smoking?
We are smoking Abuelo. This one is Abuelo Nieta, and it's from Honduras. And size is 5.25 by 46. Wrapper is Honduran Habano, and binder and filler is Honduran Corojo. Comes in a box of 20, and price is $9.99 per single and $169.99 per box. And you can find the cigar on twoguyscigars.com. That's number 2guyscigars.com.
This is a cigar I'm really excited for. I smoke this kind of regularly. I don't know how you smoke it, but this is in my rotation, so I'm looking forward to this. I don't smoke this size though, so.
No, I don't either. But you know what? As we know, Abuelo is Spanish for grandfather, and then Nieta is granddaughter.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting.
The whole line is familial names.
Yeah.
There's Abuelo, Nieto, Nieta, Padre, I think Grandpadre maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but I like that theme of this a lot. So, all right, let's get into it, and let's do the cold draw, right? All right. I don't have the cool sound effect that Dave can manage there. That's all right. Cold draw on this, I always get, this is silly, maybe, but a little saltiness. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's not a bad, I know that's not a flavor note I talk about on cigars a lot, but I like it.
Like a sweet salt water toffee?
Yeah, kind of.
That's too sweet.
Yeah. I could see that.
wheat thin salt.
Wheat thin salt. I like that. Because there's that natural saltiness to the bread of a wheat thin a little bit. Yeah, I like it. All right. Cold draw is set.
Let's taste it and before we light it.
Yeah, time to light our cigar, which is brought to you by Perdomo, the hottest brand in the land, a company founded on quality, tradition, and excellence.
One draw, that's the law. One draw, that's the law. One draw, that's the law.
One Draw, That's the Law is brought to you by Abuelo Cigars. You're going to live under my roof, you're going to play by my rules. Abuelo Cigars.
So this one's interesting off the bat. The One Draw, man, that packs a punch. I love it, though. I'd say it's medium body, but the flavor that comes through, wow.
Right away.
And it's probably a little hard to see on camera, but the edge, the bottom here is tapered. So, you typically toast a cigar before you light it up, puff on it a couple times. You don't have to do that very long with this because of that tapered edge. Your real estate there is so small, it lights up immediately, and boom, you get all that flavor. It is fantastic. Any interesting notes from you ladies? I still get that salt, that wheat thin salt. I'm going to remember that.
Like saltines, like a crackers with a bit of touch of salt there.
Kind of, that little bit of butteriness, vegetal, a little bit of vegetal. It's not a super, super sweet cigar, but like naturally, but I'm okay with that. I find this to be really nice. My favorite thing to pair this with is like a sweeter bourbon. Kind of contrast a little bit. I like that a lot. So
It's like toasted pretzels.
I
I've never done it, but regular, like a soft pretzel,
Yeah.
toast it with some butter.
Yes. Perfect.
That's
That's what the cigar is like. So if you're a fan of pretzels, I mean, come on, guys. Abuelo is where it's at. All right, so we've got some exciting things happening in June. It's closing in on summertime, and this month is a really exciting month because every year Two Guys does the father and son dinner. However, this year it is the father, daughter, and son, if you have one, dinner. And we will be having Al and Amanda McAuliffe up here as the dynamic duo. And I thought this was so pertinent for us to talk about as ladies in the industry. Miss Amanda will be up here. We're really excited to have her for that event. But it got kind of a discussion going off camera about who got us into cigars. And what was there a duo pairing? Was it a family thing? Was it friends? Was it a father, a grandfather? And we thought this would be a good time to chit-chat about who the special people in our lives are that got us into this hobby. And Ruby shared with me her story. I thought your story was kind of really special.
Yeah, so my grandfather really started. He used to be a sheet metal worker for Local 17 all his life. And his thing was to come home, and I would remember, because we would all live in the same house. I lived on the first floor, and my grandparents lived on the second floor.
Okay.
And so he would come home, I'd hear the gate open, and he always carried his Stanley canister, and he would never come in the front door. My grandmother said, "You're all dirty, you need to go through the back door." So we said, all right, well, if I have to do that, then I'm going to stop and light my cigar.
Yeah.
And I would smell it, and at one point it started to smell like cookies. So in my family, we used to make chamales. So it's Italian, like lemon type of cookies with that frosting. But it had that like anisette smell.
Okay.
So he started smoking these cigars, and I believe they were Avanti. And the scent was just so strong, and it reminded me of those cookies.
Did you like the smell?
I liked the smell,
Yeah.
but my grandmother was like, "Frank, what are you doing? You're stinking up the house. I'm not even cooking. I'm not even baking cookies, you know?" But it was a time where I would ask him questions, and he used to smoke cigarettes for years.
Okay.
And then he had a triple bypass, and the doctor said, "The only thing I'm going to allow you to smoke are cigars."
The doctor told him
This
that?
is a cardiologist.
Wow,
Yes.
okay. That's interesting.
He said, "You don't inhale.
Yeah.
That's it." So ever since that time, and he got the okay from the doctor, he was smoking cigars
Wow.
all the time.
Heard it here, folks, from a cardiologist.
Okay.
I love that. And
Yeah.
so you're around this smell. When did you take the plunge? Like, how did that look?
It was a very long time.
Okay.
I mean, I was about 40 years old
Okay.
and smoked my first cigar, which was an Avanti.
Okay.
It was very pungent, strong, and
Not quite your jam?
no. And I didn't know then, what I know now, is to eat before you smoke.
Yeah.
So I was very sick, very
Oh,
ill.
no. But you came back to it, even though...
But I came back, and, you live and you learn, but you don't know. But I just, the one thing, he didn't get to see my experiences now, things that I could teach him or, tell him.
Yeah.
The person that I did teach was my mom. So when my mom was sick before she passed, I would have all the cigar bands, and we would do a matching game for her memory.
Oh, wow.
Take the bands and do matching Perdomo, matching Abuelo, whatever it was. And I would teach her, and that was my way of, through my teaching, hopefully, my grandfather, up there
Yeah.
in cigar land, and, seeing all this. So,
Yeah.
it's just very special.
So your grandfather got you into it, and it sounds like you really carried his legacy. Like he was the first cornerstone to it, and you've carried his legacy on. I mean, you know so much about cigars now. You're a wealth of knowledge.
Still learning. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still
There's
lots
always something
to learn.
Always. There's always a new cigar on the lot. There's always a new manufacturer. There's always a new size, a new blend. That's the beautiful thing about, I think, this hobby is there's no ceiling. You're always going to have something new.
Yeah.
But that makes it special, and that you can share it, and still honor him today.
Absolutely.
So, grandfather, I love that. I've never heard of Avanti. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Are they still around? Mm-hmm. Okay. I might have to try one. I'm just curious. Like, I might have to try one. So, brace myself, maybe.
God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that, Ruby. And Agnes, I'm not 100% sure on your origin. I know we've kind of chit-chatted a little bit about where you've come from. But
So my introduction to cigars were rather cold and calculated, and with not maybe the most, poetic sort of circumstances. However, they kept me, like the cigars and Byron in particular, kept me in this industry. So I may not, been influenced by my grandpa or any other really significant relative, but I was influenced by fine gentlemen in London, because my father-in-law would gather sometimes with these, wealthy Arab men, and they would light up a cigar. So to me, cigars were always like a sign of opulence and wealth, and something, top tier, and like that kind of thing. Luxury, yes. And it never occurred to me that, women can do that too, because women were part of that, but never part of the smoking ritual.
Sure.
So when I came here and I was contemplating, change of industry, I was looking for something with wealth and opulence. As I always joke, I was looking for my husband number 3. I don't know if it was a joke. We'll leave it as that. But I felt like, that's a potentially could be great industry. And though I went into this, cigar world and tasting with sort of not noble intentions, but I stayed with like total love and admiration for the leaf and cigars, because Byron cigars done by Nelson Alfonso was exactly the reason why I stayed. Like my first box was Byron.
Wow.
And I fell in love with it. And I was like, okay, this is not cigarettes. This is not like those hookah pipes that Arabic smoke.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. I was like, wow, there's more to it. So I stayed for the right reasons,
You mentioned ritual, and it is very ritualistic. Like the process of lighting a cigar takes steps versus something like a cigarette. You can just, bang it out real quick and smoke it in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. But there is a nice ritual aspect to this. And I think that's part of the reason why it's special is you have to kind of devote, we were talking about this earlier, like you have to kind of devote time and energy and sitting down with yourself in the quiet to enjoy a cigar. And that's kind of a lost art with a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's something special to that. Yeah.
I bet your story is more poetic and beautiful.
I don't know. I think that's poetic and beautiful as long as you're here, right? I got in young. When I started smoking, the law was still 18 everywhere. So I got in at 18. Well, technically a little before. Thanks for that one, Dad. But it's a little funny. We had this back screen and porch at our childhood home, and on summer weekends, my mom and dad would smoke Fuente 858s. And I found out for their 30th anniversary, they were in the Cayman Islands, and they got cigars, and it was Mom's idea to get the cigars and smoke them, because her father and her grandfather, when they would go camping, would always smoke cigars, mostly to keep the bugs off of them, but they liked them too. And so she always associated this hobby with just like childhood fun and positive memories and things like that. So my dad and her smoked them in the Caymans, and I grew up watching them having the cigars on the screen and porch. And suddenly Dad wasn't just doing the weekend smoke anymore. It was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday smoke. And Mom would sit out there with him. She wouldn't necessarily smoke every time. And then it was a Monday through Sunday smoke. And so Dad kind of took the hobby and ran with it. But some of my most profound conversations with my parents were on that porch. And I told him, I was 17, I said, for my 18th birthday, I want to have a cigar with you and Mom. That's what I wanted, because I just want to be a part of it. I had taken a puff here and there, and that was fine. But he said, all right, we'll make sure we get you a good cigar. And we were in Albuquerque. I was going to be 18 in 2 weeks, and we were with my grandfather, and he brought out a humidor of Cuban cigars.
Wow.
And so there was a little one in there, and I kind of looked at my dad, and he goes, "You can be 18 today if you want that to be your first cigar." So I said, "Okay, I'll take you up on that." And you talk about getting sick. I knew how to smoke it, right? But you're just not used to it, right? Like I'm not inhaling it, and you're smoking this thing, you're taking it in, and it was maybe a Robusto, might have been a short Robusto, and I was rolling after that. So I was like, I don't know if I can commit to this, guys. But they gave me some sugar. They had candy there. They gave me some sugar. I felt fine. Like within 5 minutes, life hack, if you're getting sick from a cigar, go find a pixie stick, a chocolate bar, something that is going to counteract the nicotine rolls that you can get with these cigars. But then we came back, and for my 18th birthday, my dad bought me a Padron for him and myself, and we sat down and we had a Padron. And
That's awesome.
That was, I handled that a lot better. I don't know if I just learned a thing or two, or if I ate before, maybe, I can't remember, but I handled that a lot better, and the rest is history. I just kind of stuck with it. College was a little hard. We had a hookah lounge, but they had a humidor. It was like a little box on the counter, and I'd grab a cigar there. And I went to a university that had this gorgeous like pathways and areas by rivers, and so I'd go sit there and have my cigar alone, and sometimes I'd FaceTime Dad, and then the rest is history. I mean, I stuck with it, and it's always kind of been a part of me ever since I was 18. So I blame Dad for probably the level of obsession that I have about this, but Mom is kind of the genesis here, and she would hate me for saying that because I don't think she likes how much Dad and I smoke, but she still partakes every now and then.
Well, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's all good. So yeah, it was kind of, and I guess if you go all the way back, it could be my great-grandfather, kind of was the first to get me in. So, but it's a legacy thing that you carry on. I'm never going to make my children smoke cigars, but if they want to, I'd be happy to share that with them. And I've helped friends kind of get into it, and peeps that come visit me up here. So yeah, it is. It's kind of a legacy thing.
But it still brings you back to how people communicate naturally with each other. People have a hard time with all the technology that we have. Everyone's face is on a phone, and that's fine. That's great. But this gives a natural connection where you can actually sit and talk. And sometimes those tough conversations you want to have maybe with your children, whatever it is, a cigar
dulls that edge a little bit.
helps
right?
a little bit. Yeah.
I've had some really tough conversations with my dad, now that you say that, with a cigar in my hand. Yeah. Made it a little bit more palatable. Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I love that it's something that can be shared. I love the camaraderie that you see in lounges. I talk about this maybe every episode, but I really think that's special. I love the relationship it builds within families, within friends. I think it's something really special. And I do think, especially with some of the legislation that is kind of being floated around, still talking about the difference between this and a cigarette or a vape is important, just to keep people educated that it is different. It's a ritual. It's something that builds connection and community. And
After all, the doctor said it's okay.
Yeah. Can we call him?
Right.
Can we talk to him? Get him on the record. That would be great on the Ash Hills show.
Yeah.
And I think obviously we're up here at all women for a specific reason. This is a very male-dominated industry, and having women in here is few and far between, but it's special. And I think that's why the Al and Amanda McAuliffe dinner is awesome. Like, it's a father-daughter duo. She's a dynamo. He is awesome. One of the most humble, down-to-earth individuals I've ever spoken to. I went to his restaurant in Texas. He had dinner with my husband and I there. He's genuinely good people. And if you want, we still have a few tickets left. If folks want to come meet Al and Amanda, come enjoy a beautiful dinner for the father, son, daughter dinner. That is on the twoguyscigars.com website. If you search father at the top, you can still get tickets to come hang out with us. So I think most of us will be there.
Yeah,
So-
I'll be there because we will be smoking the limited release McAuliffe Black Firecracker.
That's right. Yes.
So delicious.
Have you had it? Of course
have
you
I?
have.
Have I?
Of course you have.
Yes.
Man, I have not. Have you, Ruby?
I'll give you one after the
Damn,
show.
I am. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're going to have to cut the show early so I can go get my firecracker. Bye, everybody. No, just kidding. God bless you. I'm so looking forward to that. So, yeah, it'll be a limited firecracker. When it's gone, it's gone. So if you want access to that, you want to meet Al and Amanda from McAuliffe Cigars, you want to come hang out with us, search for Father on the twoguyscigars.com website and get your ticket to that dinner today. Another event we touched on last time was the expo. We have a little, is it 10? Aaron is my.
Yeah, not many.
We have like under 20 left for the day
Wow.
pass for the expo. So if you're looking to come for a Saturday, it's going to have the night fighting. It's going to be a show. Going to have a lot going on. Go search expo. Look for it at twoguyscigars.com. You can get a ticket. We're all going to be there. Every single person that has worked at Two Guys Smoke Shop or is working at Two Guys Smoke Shop is going to be there, probably working, so we'll get to say hi to you. But then you're in for a day of fun. You've got food. You've got cigar smokers from quite literally across the globe. I think we had tickets from Canada, tickets from Europe. So it's everybody that is a cigar smoker in the world is going to be there. Not really, but like the what am I trying to say? Creme de la creme, right? Everyone's going to be there.
But to have everybody housed in just everybody under one roof.
It's
Tent.
amazing. It's a nice tent too. It's a big tent. I've been to weddings and stuff. It doesn't even compare to wedding tents. It is genuinely a spectacle on its own.
If anybody's serious about cigar smoking, this is literally the only time I'm aware of where you can, as a consumer, meet all the big manufacturers.
Yeah.
Under one roof in a very social, welcoming environment.
Casual.
When can you ever do that?
Because they're there to have a good time too.
They are.
I mean, we put on a show. It's awesome. Yeah. So if you're looking for a fun time, check out the expo. We will be there, and so will everybody else in the industry. So, all right, ladies. Well, with that, let's take a break, and when we come back, we have got our top 5, a letter in the mailbox, and a shed update from Ruby Cannoli.
Only Great Leaf makes great cigars. Aganorsa Leaf stands out because of the distinctive mouth-watering flavors of the Corojo 99 and the Criollo 98 seeds, cultivated by Cuban agronomists on the best lands in Jalapa and Esteli, Nicaragua. When you smoke one of the JFR Lunatic, Guardian of the Farm, or Casa Fernandez cigars, you will experience the unique taste and aroma that makes Aganorsa Leaf different than any other tobacco in the world. Smoke one today and enjoy the signature flavor of Aganorsa Leaf.
Hello, cigar aficionados. This is Klaus Kellner from Davidoff Cigars. I invite you to taste the elements with Davidoff Escurio, Nicaragua, and Yamasa. From water comes originality. Savor the sweet and spicy originality of the Davidoff Escurio tobaccos born by the rains of Bahia, Brazil. From fire comes intensity. Enjoy the bittersweet aromas and fiery intensity of the Davidoff Nicaragua. From earth comes complexity. Taste the earthy flavors and complex spices that are unique to the red soil of the Yamasa region in Dominican Republic. Only Davidoff Master Blenders could take the power of nature and blend it into a range of exceptional cigars. Each element making each cigar a unique experience. Water, fire, earth. Flavors that have risen from the very world itself. I hope you enjoy them as much as I do. Davidoff Cigars. Cigar adventures to a wider world.
Introducing the Romeo y Julieta, Reserva Real Nicaragua, Midnight Twist, a bold evolution of a classic favorite. This unique cigar features a striking barber pole wrapper, intertwining Nicaraguan Habano and Maduro leaves, creating a visual and flavorful masterpiece. Beneath its jewel-toned exterior lies a rich blend of Nicaraguan tobaccos, delivering a medium to full-bodied profile. Experience a symphony of flavors, from earthy spices and pepper to indulgent notes of cocoa and coffee, all culminating in a smooth, satisfying finish. Handcrafted by the legendary duo, Rafael Nodal and AJ Fernandez, the Midnight Twist offers a smoking experience that's as captivating as its appearance. Elevate your evening with the Romeo y Julieta Reserva Real Nicaragua Midnight Twist. Available now.
We're back live from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire, and today we are smoking the Abuelo Nieta. If you are new and just listening, you can subscribe on YouTube, and it's time to subscribe because sometimes YouTube doesn't like to send out smoking show notifications to folks. We're finding out, so hit that subscribe button so you can catch all things Ashholes related. And if you have thoughts or general notes or letters or hate mail or fan mail, send it to the ashholespodcast@gmail.com. We read it, and if we don't, someone on the team does. So reach out. We love to hear from you. How was the Nieta smoking for you ladies so far? What do you think?
It has such a nice spices in there, like sweet spices. It's not boring. It's lovely cigar. It's like medium full, definitely.
Yeah, I would definitely say medium. It makes me, I don't know why, I want to like have Thanksgiving meal with this.
Right?
It's the salt.
Do you know what I mean?
It's the cracker stuffing flavor.
Yeah. It's so good. It is so good. And this size, I didn't know how the size was gonna, hold up as far as I typically smoke the Nieta, the Robusto size. This is fantastic. It's great. I love this ring gauge. What was it? 46, Agnes? I don't remember.
Nieta 46.
46. Yeah, I like a narrow ring gauge sometimes. This is great. The flavor's consistent. The draw is perfect. So if you haven't tried the Abuelo Nieta, definitely give it a shot.
Little spices coming through. Now it's like the change. It's still consistent, but that, a little bold spice. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of almost at the halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fantastic. This is a great cigar. Love it. 10 out of 10. All right. So we promised our listeners a shed update. And for those who have been listening, Ruby Cannoli is building her very own mansion of a cigar shed. We've been talking about this on the shows. It is a spectacle, and we thought we'd get a little update from her. Go back and watch our older Ash Hills shows for some photos. But today you've got some updates for us, right?
Yes, well, I can't take all the credit. I mean, Reed's Ferry really, did the exterior. So.
Sure.
So now we're in the nuts and bolts of painting. So we get some glitter and glitter walls, the reds, the golds.
Glitter walls? How do you do glitter? There's glitter paint?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
I had to do so much research. It's ridiculous. They have this additive you put into the paint.
What?
And you can get it fine or chunky. And then if you get the chunky, you have to buff it. It's like learning another trade.
Did you do chunky or did you do fine?
No.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure.
What a word to describe glitter. Do you want chunky glitter?
Or fine. So I'm in the middle of that. I had to order actually one more packet to put in the red. So we have the TV bracket already up on the wall.
Wow, okay.
And we have the lattice that's underneath the loft part, and that's where it's going to be floral, like outside, and the lights.
So what are your interior colors then? Because I heard red and gold paint. Is your interior red and gold?
Red and gold, some black, some pearlescent, like seashellish white.
Okay.
And the reason why I chose that color is because over time, it'll blend in with the nicotine.
Oh.
So that way I'm not repainting it
all the time.
So often.
That's genius. You wouldn't want, I was thinking, like, you don't want to do a super white,
no.
Or even necessarily cream, because it'll show.
Yeah. I mean, the last is the floor. And then I checked in with Chef Charlie of what purifier he has. So I ordered that. And I got a little bit bigger, even though it's only 12 by 16. My concern was the amount of smoke that could be in there.
Okay.
So it's just all the little attention to detail type things.
So what's when are you going to be done? Like, what's your projection?
I want to say probably the second week of July.
Okay, so like a little over a month. 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't wait. Okay, we're going to have a show at the start of July. Come August.
So I'll have some. I didn't want to bring. I had some pictures, but I want to keep the suspense.
Yeah.
Going.
We'll need to get a video tour from you or something when it's done.
Oh, absolutely.
The Ruby Cannoli shed.
Yeah.
I love that. Red glitter, chunky glitter or fine glitter. Who would have thought? in the interior design world. Who would have thought?
And that tooling.
What is that?
You know, like the ballerinas wear
Oh,
on their
yeah.
tutus? That's going to be part of my chandelier and swoop.
Wow.
Or whatever or swag or whatever you want to
Yeah,
call it.
yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
This is going to be a
Yeah,
spectacle.
getting there.
I can't wait to show photos, and we're definitely going to have to do a video walkthrough. It would be like MTV Cribs. You ever watch that? Welcome to my crib.
Yep.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. We'll be waiting. We're on the home stretch for that, and maybe we'll have to do an Ash Heels field trip over to the shed sometime. That would be
Absolutely.
fun.
Anytime.
Agnes, do we have any letters in the mailbox today?
Yes, we have a letter from Rob from AK.
Okay.
I have no idea what AK stands for. I live just outside of, oh dear Lord, Anchorage, Alaska.
Yep.
Anchorage, Alaska. I have approximately 750 cigars in my house, which stays at a constant 68 degrees. My question is, I have an overstock cooler in my outbuilding, which I kept about 150 cigars in. I use Boveda packs, which keep the humidity at a constant 65 to 68 degrees. The temperature, however, often dips into the 30s. Is that okay? It's cold. How should I proceed with my overstock cigars? Thanks for your time. I love the shows, and they have taught me very much throughout the years. Keep the good times rolling. Rob,
that is a great question, and this is education time. So he says he has a humidor inside, but this is an overstock that he puts the.
Yes, he's like emphasis is he has an overstock cooler in his outbuilding, which is like kept at about 150 cigars in.
Okay.
And that's the one that's he keeps the humidity, but it drops with the temperature outside to 30.
Sure. So the humidity is great if you're able to keep it there. I'm a little surprised. I guess if it's full, that would make sense that you're able to keep that humidity up there. One thing about temperature is it really should be okay. The problem I think you'll run into is if you ever pull from that overstock and bring it in somewhere warm to smoke it, that temperature change that drastically can harm the cigar. It can unravel a little bit more. It could not light properly. So if you can't bring that overstock bin in to somewhere, even like in the 60 degrees is fine, I would say.
Even if there was a period of rest before.
You kind of need to acclimate it a little bit, right? So like, don't reach into that, go inside where it's a nice balmy 75 or 70, because I think you'll run into problems. You can see that in stores sometimes. If their seal on their cases isn't great and we have a season change, and they're not paying attention to temperature and humidity, you can run into issues with that. So if your humidity's staying constant, that's great, but be careful pulling that. My advice would be, if it's in a portable thing, bring it in the house and like stick it in the closet somewhere. Like that's fine. It doesn't have to be on display. It doesn't have to be near light. Like it's in something sealed, humidity's stable, the temp is stable. But if you're unable to do that, pulling from that overstock and bringing it in can be a drastic change for a cigar, and you don't want that. You don't want that unraveling. You don't want that to impact your smoking experience. So that would be my advice, Rob. I don't know if anyone has anything to add on that, but
God, no. I'm just here for the looks, not for the wisdom and knowledge.
Anchorage, Alaska is crazy, though. Like, that is a listener from a far away place, so we really appreciate you listening, Rob. That is awesome. Send in any more questions that you have to the Ashholes Podcast at gmail.com.
I'm curious how his inside humidor, or however he's storing them, stays.
If it's 750, it's got to be a stand-up humidor, right? Like
a closet?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got to be something like that. And the device that you need to keep something that large consistent, it's got to be like a machine. One of the humidifying machines.
Like the Cigar Oasis
one.
Or,
I would think. Yeah. I would think for that many cigars.
It's just, Alaska, it's like, all I can think of is ice.
Right.
So how do you keep it,
So I'm not super privy to like all of Alaska, but I know summertimes can warm up in certain parts of it. I mean, it's not like 90 maybe, but they have warmer climate seasons in some spots. I had a friend that went up to a camp there, and they went in summertime, and they were in like shorts some days. So I know it's not like like the Arctic, but I don't know how long that season is, if their cigars have time to acclimate in that outbuilding. So even letting probably the natural season change acclimate your cigars before you bring them in would be better versus bringing them in like the dead of winter into like a warm space. That would probably be
like
better.
an extra step.
Yeah. Add that extra
I'm just
step.
so curious now that just to hearing that letter, just to know, the more details.
Yeah, maybe give us another drop, Rob. We'll keep chatting about your humidor. Very good. All right. Well, if you are smoking along with us, you might have the Dave's Weekly Six Pack. And if you don't have the Dave's Weekly Six Pack, you should probably get it because it's going to have what we're smoking on the show in there. This is curated by Dave himself, the owner of Two Guys Smoke Shop, and you can find it each week on twoguyscigars.com, but it's hidden away for listeners of our show. We keep it hidden for you folks. If you go to the search bar at the top and search the word Dave, it'll come right up. And it's only there for you guys. It's gone next week, so this thing resets really fast. And then obviously one cigar in that pack is going to be what we're smoking next week. And I've just learned...
I was just going to say it. You read my mind.
Yeah,
we can search it another way.
Yeah, tell us about the new way.
I think you can type in milk.
You get extra discount typing that.
So we'll see. Right, Aaron?
Yes.
Yep, tested it myself. Type
Did
in
you
milk,
really?
it pops up.
You type in milk.
Yeah, in the search bar.
For those that aren't in the ins and outs of Two Guys Cigars and maybe our shows, milk is having a resurgence within this business. And we'll actually be doing a show on this a little bit later, but milk is taking over. Dave's posted about it on his Facebook, talking about pairing cigars and milk together. There's a lot of local milk people who have been sending milk. So if you're a milk aficionado and a cigar aficionado, you're in the right place. So you can search Dave or milk for the Weekly Six Pack. And what is in the six pack?
Well, it looks very interesting to me. Of course, the first one is the one we're smoking, Abuelo Nieta, at $10.99. You're also getting the EPC Allegiance Sidekick for $13.69. You're also getting a McAuliffe Blue Robusto for $7.19. The La Giana Havana Maduro Robusto for $9.99. The La Giana 30th Anniversary for $12. And finally, it's the Bandolier Premium Ironicos for $26. So those six total $79.86. But the deal, again, if you type in Dave's or milk, it's $69.99. So it's basically a savings of like 12%.
Yeah.
It's a steal.
Yes. And that bandolero in there.
Just that alone
is so good. It is so good, guys. The La Giana, that's a classic in my rotation. The McAuliffe Blue is flying in the stores. Like, they're not making this to be like, we'll just like toss these guys a few cool cigars. This is always a great lineup. Every single time. I love it.
Yeah, there's always good thought put into that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely consideration to the smoker. Absolutely. All right, folks. Is there a top 5 today, Agnes?
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Here is today's top 5 list.
Great. So, today's top 5 fictional father-daughter pairs. At number 5, Powerpuff Girls, Professor and the Buttercup, Bubbles, and Blossom. Those are, honestly, from the whole lineup, this is the only one I know. Like, I guess it's because I'm mom.
We should put a poll out, like, which one of us is Buttercup, Bubbles, and Blossom. Mm-hmm. That would be fun.
There was a blonde one.
There is a blonde one. Yes. I don't remember which one is which, though.
She's cute.
But she is cute, just like you. There you go.
She the one
There's a red one.
There is a red one, but is the pink one the blonde?
No, I think the
pink
blue.
Too.
I think blue is blonde.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Am I
research
crazy?
this.
I'm gonna Google.
We should dress up as Powerpuff Girls one time. No?
I'm sure there are some listeners who would love that.
Totally. So number 4, The Last of Us, Joel and Ellie.
Joel and Ellie. Yeah, this was a video game that became a TV show and blew up on HBO. Kind of one of the. The game's like 10 or 12 years old now. I want to say it's been a while, but it kind of caused a resurgence of the father-daughter dynamics in some media after. It was insanely popular. I think it won Game of the Year and then it's now a TV show in its second season on HBO.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. Yeah.
It's good. It's scary. I mean, you got to be cool with zombies and things like that. Clickers, technically, are what they called. But yeah, it's a little freaky. So it's a good duo.
Number 3, Full House. Danny Tanner and DJ Steph Michelle.
I grew up on Full House. It was reruns, but I loved that show. Have you ever seen Full House?
No.
No? Did you ever watch it?
I watched it, and my kids just loved it when they were growing up.
It was fun. It was like wholesome, just wholesome TV. It was always on when I was homesick. It was like rerun. I always attribute that to having like the flu because I would be home and I would watch Full House reruns. It was so much fun. I loved that one. Classic.
Number 2, Taken. Brian and Kimberly.
This was a Ruby Cannoli suggestion, and this is a great suggestion.
Liam Neeson, just very consistent, very natural, and I believe they used the same girl for the daughter, I think, in all of them.
Did they really?
I think she's in all of them.
Get out. That is cool.
Is she his real daughter? Because I think there was one movie that he did. He was with his real daughter.
I don't know if it's his... No, I don't think that's his daughter. No. But that's the one where he's got the famous line where he's like, she gets kidnapped, right? These are all... Most of these are feel-good, but like, you know, The Last of Us and this one, maybe not. Where he gets a call from the kidnapper and he says like, I have a particular set of skills, which is basically just like kicking ass and taking names, right?
That's
Classic
what dads
line.
are for.
Yeah, right? My dad told me once, he was like, if you ever got kidnapped, he's like, I would have to call the people who have a particular set of skills because I can't do jack shit. So he didn't say it like that, but yeah, props to Dad.
Number 1, To Kill a Mockingbird. Atticus Finch and Scout. Classic.
Did you guys have to read that in school?
No.
There's a book and a movie. Did you have to read it?
No,
No?
my friends did. We were all put into different levels, and I missed that one. I actually read a better book, but...
What book did you get to read?
Oh my gosh.
It'll come to you after the show.
I'll blurt it out right in the middle. This is what happens.
That's all right.
This is bad.
That's all right.
Is this what getting older is like?
No, don't say that.
A Streetcar Named Desire.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Loved it.
So you got to
Kept
read
my
that.
interest. Just kept, I don't know, it just kept my interest a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a classic book, but look, like sometimes the classics aren't always the easiest to get through. I liked this, but like I didn't enjoy Gatsby as much. That was another required reading. So it kind of, like you said, it's...
But I bet you liked the movie. No?
Not really. I don't know. It wasn't... I don't know why. That story just never clicked with me. Are you talking about Gatsby or To Kill a Mockingbird?
Gatsby.
Yeah. The movie was like, it's all right. So
Hold on.
it wasn't
Gatsby
bad.
had anything to do with Kill a Mockingbird?
No, they're just
No.
kind of classic
Oh.
books. Classic books we're talking about. But yeah, this was required reading where I came from. I think it was 7th grade, 8th grade maybe. We had to read it. Might have been 9th grade. I really don't remember. But yeah, we had to read it. So classic father-daughter duos, because we have got a father-daughter duo coming to New Hampshire. Al and Amanda McAuliffe here for the father-daughter son dinner. I need to change that. It's always father-son, so I got to like unlearn that. But the father-daughter dinner. And then you mentioned another dynamic duo in the industry with Dave and his
Gianna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. If you smoke La Gianna,
Yeah.
that is named after Dave's daughter.
Yeah.
That was named when she was a baby. It's been around for 20-some years, I think.
Yeah.
But
no, 30 years. That's why we had the La Gianna
Oh,
30th
that's
anniversary.
the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
The
So
number
good.
5 in that list is delicious. La Gianna anniversary 30th. It's barber pole, and it's phenomenal. It's like I never smelled barber pole before, so customers love it, and it's delicious stick. And it's like, how much is it? Like $12.
$12.
It's a steal, honestly. Get a box.
You heard it here, folks. Listen to Agnes. So yeah, there's some cool duos in the industry. So we're excited to celebrate them. Awesome. Well, that is the top 5 for you today, folks. And next we have what's typically called the Killman's Corner, but today, thanks to our takeover, we have got the Ruby's Red Anchor Corner coming at
Red
ya.
Anchor is the world's first cigar brand, beginning in 1772, now celebrating over 250 years. United Cigar, in partnership with the famed Kellner family, reintroduced Red Anchor cigars, now blended in the Dominican Republic, featuring an Ecuador wrapper, Monte Plata binder, and fillers of San Vicente, Habano 92, and Pennsylvania broadleaf. This three-country blend creates a medium-bodied, smooth profile of cedar, nutmeg, shortbread, and a rich, buttery finish. It's time to relish the return of Red Anchor cigars.
So this is Byron's 21st Century 10-year aged, now shipping out. Selected Tobacco has shipped the Byron 21st Century Aristocratus 10-year age. This project follows the wildly successful and completely sold out 2023 releases of the Atabey, Diocese, and Mysticos 10-year aged editions, featuring an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, a Peruvian binder, and a sublime combination of Peruvian and Nicaraguan fillers. The Byron Aristocratus is already known for its elegance and complexity. But this 10-year aged version is something else entirely. Normally aged for 4 years in meticulously controlled cedar-lined humidors, the Aristocratus has now undergone a full decade of aging, subjected to Nelson Alfonso's proprietary method of fluctuating humidity levels that mirrors the careful refinement of vintage wines and spirits.
Awesome.
Has anybody had a chance to have it yet?
I have not.
It's beyond delicious.
Oh my gosh.
As I mentioned, you know, you had your grandfathers and fathers bring you into the cigar smoking.
Yeah.
It was Byron cigars and Nelson Alfonso. I guess I owe him my career, to be honest, you know, because when I bought my first box, that was Byron, and I fell in love with the cigar. I did multiple purchases, and every time he comes out with some new line or some addition, like he had Bandolero Premium coming out, he blows it out of the water. It's beyond delicious. He is master with his whole, like how he ages cigars post-roll. So when people say, oh, it's aged tobacco, yes, but with Nelson Alfonso, he ages them post-roll, keeps them in these special rooms in Spain. They are lined with cedar from top to bottom, 5 different cedars. He uses Lebanese, Cuban, Spanish, Mexican, and Brazilian. So he treats his cigars, he says, like babies, you know, you need attention and love. And so every time there's extra age on it. So imagine these cigars have been sitting for 10 years.
10 years.
And he rotates them from different cedar rooms so they can get so purified, so clean. So when you smoke Nelson cigars, they have that cleanliness with them. They're full of flavor and body, but so smooth when you smoke them. It's like nothing else. So this one is like layers and layers in the flavor, to the point where it made me even think of my childhood. Have you ever eaten like roasted sunflower seeds?
Oh yeah.
So it's such an Eastern European thing. I think there's even memes about Eastern Europeans sitting on a bench and, you know, cracking the seeds. So when you bunch them up, like the seeds, not the shells, like, you know, nice ones, and that big mush in your mouth, that is that kind of nutty, but it's so like sunflower seeds. And there's a lot of cedar. For me, it was like, it's aromatic and it has cedar there, and just notes are beautiful. Obviously, what I feel smoking is different what you would feel, but by all means, it's one of those cigars, I would say, you need to take your time, because the size is 5 by, was it 52? 8 by 52. So
holy cow. Okay,
you know,
wow. All right.
I love the ring gauge. It's 52, my favorite ring gauge. It gives me those Cuban vibes, obviously, because Nelson was born in Cuba.
Yeah.
This whole, you know, heritage is Cuban. So, but it takes time because it's 8 inches long. Love that size.
For me, that's a 3-hour smoke.
It's my whole day sometimes at the office, and I get to enjoy like the finest things. So I would say it's a cigar you would take your time, smoke by yourself, or share with people you actually love being in a company with. I would say test your friendships. If you get offered that, that means they like it, because they want to spend with you 2-3 hours. They want you to enjoy the nicest things, and this is above and beyond.
I will say I've never had a bad Byron. And I can't imagine how much better it is with 10 years of age on it.
Right.
So Agnes, you were saying Byron was your first. Which Byron did
Byron
you?
Petit Poemes.
Okay.
It came when I joined, the whole cigar culture. They still came in those beautiful ceramic
jars,
Yes,
yeah.
like the Cuban culture.
Yeah.
Right? And that fascinated me. And then when they transferred it to the boxes, it did not disappoint, because if you have the opportunity to buy a Byron box, or Atabay for that matter, the whole opening of the box is like this event. It almost reminds me when I buy like really great shoes or anything. It comes in that velvet,
Yeah.
what you would call it,
It's like
pouch.
a covering,
Yeah. The boxes are these beautiful black lacquer boxes, and it's inside it's cedar lining. So whilst your cigars sit in it, they still continue age. And that's why the cello is not all the way kind of wrapped, like for most cigars. It kind of ends at the very tip. So it's exposed to the air, to that cedar lining. So he calls his boxes as like continuous boxes of aging, So
Wow.
it's spectacular.
It's truly masterful what
Yeah.
he's. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like that's masterwork, I would say.
By all means.
Yeah. We'll have to smoke one, Ruby. We gotta try one. So that's amazing. If you have tried Byron, it's definitely worth a shot trying something this special. 10 years of age is not something to slouch at. That is
And I should
incredible.
preface, post-roll, there isn't a brand that would have, never mind that aging technique that it's proprietary, like way that he does it. The fact that it's post-roll, it's already aged tobacco when they roll it in Costa Rica, and then they ship it to Spain, and then it sits there for minimum of 4 years. Byron is minimum 4 years post-roll. So that's the emphasis on it, like it's post-roll aging.
Wow.
I don't know anybody who does it.
I can't think of anyone that does it that consistently. Like I'll see limited releases and things like that, but to have a line with at least 4 years is really impressive.
I feel like, how it's so popular now, that culture of self-love and taking care of yourself. I cannot think of a better way of like an element to take care of yourself and honor yourself and love yourself by enjoying a Byron cigar. It's such a beautiful element.
I love that.
It
Self-care
is.
with
It's like having a spa day for yourself.
Exactly, with a cigar. You can put your feet in that massagey thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or have somebody rub your shoulders.
There you go, for 3 hours. That would be great. Awesome. Well, that is the Red Anchor news today. Thank you for that, Ruby. That was
welcome.
awesome. Just one more reminder for you folks. If you want to come enjoy the father-daughter dinner, we have a handful of tickets left. Search father at twoguyscigars.com. Al and Amanda McAuliffe will be here celebrating the limited release Firecracker from McAuliffe. So give that a shot. And if you want to come hang out with us and see what the expo is about, we have a handful of tickets left there. Search for expo at twoguyscigars.com. You can find it and come join us on that Saturday. But in the meantime, it's time for us to rate and review the Abuelo Nieta. I've been thinking about this number. I feel like everyone's going to have the same number. You need a night. Oh,
my number too.
all right. I'm not showing anyone my number. Special shout out to Aaron. I forgot to include you in the thank you and the intro. But
Oh, I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that? I don't know if you're giving this a rating, but sometimes he's our tiebreaker. So, all right, ladies, what did you rate the Abuelo Nieta? Ruby?
93.
93?
I have 91. And bear in mind, I started my day with Byron Aristocratus 10 years.
So we're coming from a particular ledge there. I had 92. So, Aaron, what would you give this?
I was right there with you with a 92.
92? All right. It's in the 90s, folks. Give it a shot. Abuelo Nieta. And if you're not a Nieta size kind of smoker, there's a whole line of Abuelo that you can try out. From Robusto to Toro to something closer to a Gordo. Give it a shot. It is a fantastic blend. I really enjoy the vegetal and the salty on it. I can't say that enough. Wheat, thin salt, nailed that. That was perfect. And yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. And it keeps going.
It does.
Yeah.
It has not.
I'm
It's
down
so
to the
dynamic.
nub, and I'm going to burn my fingers because it's so delicious. It's
Yeah.
one of my go-tos when I don't smoke Byron, 10-year age.
Thanks, Agnes.
Yeah, rub that in for the viewers. All right, folks, that is it for the Ash Heels Takeover. Next week, Father's Day gift card guide from the boys. They will be back. Send us an email to theashholespodcast@gmail.com and let us know what you thought about the show this week. And drop us a line. We'd love to read it live. Until then, you have been listening to the Ash Heels, broadcasting from the Studio 21 Cigar Studio above Two Guys Smoke Shop in Salem, New Hampshire. We will see you next month.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.